الله تعالى وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على أشرف المخلوقين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. The last few sessions, alhamdulillah, we were able to cover a little bit regarding the life of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah and Imam Malik rahimahullah also. And actually went through a couple of stories regarding those Aimma, and we tried to know a little bit of their manhaj, their way of understanding, of explaining. And also we realized that sometimes there's some ikhtilafat, some differences between those Aimma, but how they were able still to live with each other, to understand each other, to love each other, and also to work together many times. I would like to give a lecture today, but I would like actually to have a small dialogue between all of us. Probably I will start with a very simple question, and I would like everyone please to also be a part of it. It's a discussion because we want to know the purpose of those few sessions is not giving a lecture, but actually to understand something. I would like to open the floor with a very simple question. I will say, okay, through what we learn about Imam Abu Hanifa, what is the impression that you have about Imam Abu Hanifa? Please feel free. I will start with you.
A very brilliant person.
Okay, what is, if I say what is the most important thing that really, whenever you say the word Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, it comes to your mind? Take a minute. Yes.
He's flexible as compared to others.
He's flexible compared to the other. How? What do you mean flexible?
He's not like rigid. He's not like
So you said the others, like who the others mean?
other Malik and
But we did not do the others yet. We just did Malik.
Malik, compared to Malik.
So you think that Abu Hanifa is more flexible than Imam Malik rahimahullah? What is it?
In Medina, in Makkah, Imam Malik was
In Medina.
Medina, whatever was going on, he knows, people knows, Prophet, Tabi'in, whatever.
Yes. Most of the people were in Medina, they had some kind of knowledge.
Easy thing to follow the things from Prophet. But in Kufa, was different situation. There's a
Different.
main difference I found.
It was a big, huge difference. It's just like you compare New York City and somewhere else, which is, people are very unhappy.
Because of the time, what happened in Kufa.
So the time was different. The circumstances were completely different. So now we understand why there are differences between, let's say, the school of Medina and the school of Kufa, because the circumstances were not the same. And this is a part of the fiqh Islamic. The Islamic fiqh takes that in consideration. You cannot actually give a fatwa just like that. A fatwa may fit for a certain place and may not completely fit for another different place, depending on the circumstances. It's not you are changing your fatwa, but you have actually to consider very well the circumstances of every single place. And that's what we're going to see probably, inshallah, about Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. Imam Shafi'i is a student of Imam Malik, and he is a student of the student of Imam Abu Hanifa. So he is, if you want to say, he has some part of the Ahnaf and he has some part of the Malikiyyah. And he's going to start actually his manhaj, let's say, when he was still in the Middle East, and then after he's going to move to Egypt and he's going to live in Egypt for a while until he dies, and then his madhab will completely change. Or a lot of masail, once we're going to start reading in the book, we're going to say, this is the opinion of Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah before, and this is the opinion of Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah after. And then we say he's changing his mind, just like he's changing his clothes. Sometimes we say that, but it's not. The faqih is the one. And that's what we studied also about Imam Malik. But let me go back again. So somebody else, something that you still remember about Abu Hanifa rahimahullah.
He used to make mashwara among the students and then come to class,
Right?
then come to the solution about.
You realize that what Imam Abu Hanifa started, we have it right now in a very high level in the universities. Yeah, you want to add something?
Yeah, number one, he was a achiever to the extent that he wanted to be top of his field.
Yes.
So he proved in the business, and when he changed his mind, he proved in the deen. And with the basic understanding of Islam, then he had a very logical mind.
Right. So he does understand the concept, the goal of the Islam.
And then he had a very logical mind.
Right.
And that was the today's MBA classes and all that.
Oh, the whole madhab of Ahnaf is based on that. It's based on that. That's why the other people were complaining that, oh, you are using the qiyas too much. You're giving so much freedom to your aql with regarding to the deen, which was the opposite in the Medina. Anything else to be added? I would like to hear for, yes.
He used to explain everything very his own way, like based on the circumstance. He used to explain
His own way. What do you mean his own way?
like I can't think of an example.
Okay.
Can you come back?
But the way how you think about it, that he has his way to explain the things. But remember, we're going to say this over and over. Whenever there was a mas'ala, Imam Abu Hanifa was very, very specific about this matter. That first, is there anything in the Quran? To answer to that question, he cannot use his aql. If there's anything in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, he will not go beyond that. If there is any of the saying of the Sahaba, he said, then I have the freedom to choose whatever from one Sahabi. Probably Ali radiallahu anhu says something and Umar says something. But he feels like the opinion of Ali is more convenient or more understanding for him. So he will go with him. But he will not go to his opinion, but he will stick with one of the opinions of the Sahaba. Then he said, if there is nothing among the Sahaba regarding that issue, then they are the opinion of the Tabi'een. But then he said, when it comes to the Tabi'een, he considers himself just like them. That's the maqula. He considers himself just like them. They are mujtahideen and he is a mujtahid. They are a certain level and he is also at that level that he has also the opportunity and he also qualified enough to give his opinion. So that's what I want to clarify. It's not like there's a mas'ala then he will start thinking about it. No. He will say, is there any hell over there? Did Rasulullah do something? Abu Bakr and Umar and so on. Anything else? Especially from the young people in the back. Yes, Qasim. What do you think? What do you like about Abu Hanifa? If I say, you like Abu Hanifa, you say yes, I say, what do you like about him? What things that you could copy from him? He was thirsty for everything, yes, that's correct. And whenever someone has this thirst, this hunger, he used that thirst in a positive way. Actually, like us, especially the young people, all of you have so much energy. So you want actually something that you could, you play basketball, you run, you fight, you create something, the internet and so on and so on. And that's not bad. That's not bad actually. But actually what he did, he used his energy in something that will benefit the whole nation. And up to now, everybody is benefiting from the fiqh of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Anything else? Majority of the people are Ahnaf over here. So if I say, what do you think about Imam Malik? Nobody will say anything. So what do you think?
He was very pious and God-fearing.
Yes, and that's again for Imam Abu Hanifa. Actually, this for A'imma, all of them, the level of taqwa that they achieved, that the reason why we still remember them up to now. There was a lot of scholars before, and some of them probably they may have more knowledge than Abu Hanifa and Malik and Shafi'i and Ahmad. But it's not only the knowledge, it is the taqwa that these people had, which is we still remember them up to now.
Most time Imam Hanifa rahmatullah alayh will take the not the zahiri meaning of the hadith. He will get into what it really means, not the zahiri word.
Right. So the brother who mentioned, he say, okay, we always have to say something that the deen has a purpose, a reason, a hikmah, a wisdom behind it. So when I read a hadith or a ayah, I want to know what is behind it. So he was always going for that. So he said, okay, the goal, the deen has what we call maqasid, al-maqsad. The deen prohibited the khamr. It's not because the khamr only itself, but because there's a wisdom behind it. So he tried always to find behind that. Subhanallah. Yes. Nothing else. Any other thing beside those things? Yes, please.
Used to pay students to come to learn.
Used to pay students to come. We should start that probably over here. Yes, imagine that. Imam Abu Hanifa, actually, but he was not paying any students. He picked his own students. Those that he realized that these guys, I cannot leave him. He cannot go for something else. Yeah, he may go for business and may become a big businessman, but he felt like the deen, this ummah could benefit from that person. So Imam Abu Hanifa giving him a scholarship, like we said about Imam Abu Yusuf, rahimahullah. And he brought him, and Imam Abu Yusuf became whatever he became after, and that's in the balance of Imam Abu Hanifa in the day of judgment. Because he's the one who actually brought him, and he cares about him, and so on. So you realize the same thing is going to happen with Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, Imam Malik. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, when he started attending the classes of Imam Malik rahimahullah, Imam Shafi'i was only like 9 years old. So the very first days Imam Malik, he realized this young man, and he's so into the ilm, so thirsty about the ilm, so pious. Shafi'i rahimahullah said that I used to be very careful to turn the pages because I don't want to disturb my teacher. So from the very beginning he said, like the sound of the pages might disturb my teacher. So he said, I don't want to do that. So Imam Malik, when he saw him, he said to him a very beautiful word, which is he's going to stay with Imam Shafi'i all the time. So, you know, sometimes the teacher's comments are so important, and that may motivate the child or may break down the child. Sometimes the child may do something and the teacher say, you are good for nothing, and finish. It's finished for that child sometimes, unless the child is really something. And sometimes a very simple comment from the teacher, and that creates a love between you, and that's probably all of us. If we say, do you remember one of your teachers? Some of the teachers come to your mind. And then comes and he said something positive about you. And we may realize that some of us are good in math or science or whatever, and then you may realize that because your teacher was so pleasant, so nice, so kind, so, you know, funny if you want, and then you start liking that subject and you're becoming good in it. And the opposite also. Some of us are bad in math or whatever, say, why? Because our teacher was really hard. Imam Malik said he applied the same rule with Imam Shafi'i, although Imam Malik said he was someone very firm, very strict. But once he saw this young man, he said to him, I saw that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put in your heart, or He put on you some light. In Allah qad alqa fi qalbika nura. Allah, He put in your heart some light. So don't turn it off with the darkness of ma'siyah, with the darkness of disobedience. And this is again for all of us. What takes us away from Allah, what brings darkness to our family, to our life, to our relation between us and so on, is the disobedience. You disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you think it's gone? No, it's not gone. It is a dark spot that is in your heart and in your family and in your eyes and so on and so on. You got to do the istighfar, of course, continuously. But the more you keep sinning and sinning and sinning, you say, I cannot memorize this, I cannot understand the Quran, I don't feel the khushu', I don't feel those things, and that's all because of the disobedience. Let me go back again to the Ayman and say again, these people, they tried their best to stay away from the disobedience. So I said that taqwa was the reason why these people, we still remember them up to now. And each one of us, say, Abu Hanifa, say, Rahimahullah. Imagine how much rahmah Imam Abu Hanifa or Malik rahimahullah, all of them, they get every day. Probably we're here, some people in Saudi Arabia, some people in China, and they remember Imam Abu Hanifa or so on, and then they send rahmah on him. Imam Shafi'i, which is, I would say, also regarding this matter, you know the hadith of Ma'u Zamzam. There's a hadith that says, Ma'u Zamzam lima shuriba lah. The water of Zamzam, there is a hadith, but that hadith is not sahih, it's not authentic, by the way. So you say, Ma'u Zamzam, whatever you drink it for, whatever is your intention. So some people, when they go, they drink Zamzam and then they say with this intention, like, inshallah, I would like to come back. Inshallah, I would like to have this. Inshallah. So there is a hadith, but the hadith is very weak. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, he was actually with the hadith, and there is a narration that says that one time, and look how pious is this person, amazing. When he was the age, probably 30 or more than that, so he took the water of Zamzam and he drank it. And then he said, شربنا ماء زمزم للعلم فتعلمنا ولو شربناه للتقوى لاتقينا. He said, a long time ago, I had this intention to drink the water of Zamzam so I could get the knowledge. And alhamdulillah, I got some knowledge. And then he said, if only I drink this water, not for knowledge, but for taqwa, so I could become a pious person. Like he's not a pious person, he was not a righteous person. So again, going back and saying, the idea behind all those a'immah, the ilm is for a reason. The reason is to bring the taqwa. If the ilm is being used for something else, it's not going to benefit you, it's not going to benefit anybody. But the ilm has to be with the taqwa. I may have a small introduction today regarding, is there any other comment that someone would like to say? Some negative comment about Imam Abu Hanifa or Imam Malik? Yes.
Basically, both of them were same. They didn't have so much differences, but Imam Abu Hanifa has a different audience and Maliki has a different audience. He has more qualified people and he has to make it. And Imam Abu Hanifa, whatever he was doing from his own knowledge and from his own education. So the difference is he was being fed by this ashabi, and he was sometimes he was making his own judgment.
You're talking about Imam Abu Hanifa?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but basically both of them they are same.
I will have to disagree a little bit with you regarding this matter. The audience of Imam Abu Hanifa was not an audience of someone who doesn't have knowledge. The 40 people that he chose, they were the top in every single field. About the history, about the hadith, like some people they may say Imam Abu Hanifa didn't have that much knowledge about hadith, which is a lot of people they will say because he did not go for talab al-hadith like the other ai', like Imam Malik and Shafi'i and Ahmed. But Imam Abu Hanifa, among his audience, he had also the people of hadith. And there's some books that say Ashabu Imam Abu Hanifa al-Muhaddithun. So he also chose something. In every single field, he chose somebody. And that's how the discussion was going on. So the work of Imam Abu Hanifa was not an individual work. And he could not do it by himself. Because the job that he did, it cannot be done by one single person. To bring a question and to discuss a question, one opinion cannot be enough. One opinion cannot be enough. So he needs actually, and that's what when we start reading about the fiqh of the Ahnaf, we will realize sometimes this is the opinion of Abu Hanifa, and this is the opinion of Abu Yusuf, and we say as-sahiban, the two sahibs of Imam Abu Hanifa, Muhammad ibn Hassan and Imam Abu Yusuf also. And sometimes we say the majority of the Ahnaf, they go with the opinion of the students of Imam Abu Hanifa. Anyway, the audience of Imam Malik, yes, you're right, it was a little bit different. The people of Medina, the people of ilm, the people of knowledge, the people coming, so it was a different... let me go back again to the first statement that I was making. Probably some people, they may think about I said the fatwa could change. The fatwa could change. We have a small example actually from Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. Abdullah ibn Abbas is the cousin of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah, he made dua for him and he said, Allahumma faqihhu fi ad-din wa 'allimhu at-ta'wil. Allah, give him the fiqh of the deen and give him also the knowledge of the interpretation of the ahkam of the deen. And he was a young man, but he was a genius. We call him Habr al-Ummah, like the rabbi of the Ummah if you want. Even Umar al-Khattab, he used to call him. He was very young and he used to call him and he used to ask the Sahaba and he used to ask him and he used to go with the opinion of Abdullah ibn Abbas. Anyway, Abdullah ibn Abbas, you will find the majority of the tafsir of the Quran talks about Abdullah ibn Abbas. Abdullah ibn Abbas said this about this tafsir and so on and so on. And there's a lot of masail called masail of Nafi' with Abdullah ibn Abbas. One time actually somebody came to Abdullah ibn Abbas for a fatwa, for a mas'ala, a question. And he asked him, if a person committed qatl, does he have a tawbah? If someone committed qatl or he committed qatl, a crime, he killed someone, does he have a tawbah? So he looked at him and he said, of course. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, إن الله لا يغفر أن يشرك به ويغفر ما دون ذلك لمن يشاء. Allah forgives everything except the shirk. So there is a tawbah. There is a room for a person to repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah may accept it from him. And the person left. But looks like probably after a couple of days or a week on, somebody came, another person came asking Abdullah ibn Abbas the same question. And he said to him, if a person commit a qatl, I'm just trying to translate in Arabic, say someone is, he does the qatl, he killed someone, will he have a tawbah or not? So he looked at him and he said, he has no tawbah. He will not be forgiven. Why? So he recited an ayah from the Quran that says that if a person killed, he will be in Jahannam khalidina fiha forever. So the person left. So his student, and I think probably that was Nafi', he asked him the same question. He said, I'm very surprised. Person came to you and you told him this, and person came to you and told him that. How is that? So he said to him, the first person who came to me, I realized, or from whatever he understood, say he already committed the qatl. He already killed somebody. Now if I close all the doors for him, what's going to happen? So I have no tawbah, so let me be even worse. So I opened the doors for him, because there is a room for tawbah. So he could repent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may accept it from him. And all of us know the story of the person, Banu Israel, who killed 99 people, and then so on. But then he said, what about the second one? He said, the second one who came and asked about the qatl, that person did not commit the qatl yet, but he is actually planning to probably kill someone. So what should I do? Tell him. I should tell him there is a tawbah, so go ahead. I closed all the doors for him. I closed all the doors for him, saying there's no tawbah. So that will take him back and not to commit the qatl. You see now, it could be the same question in the same place, but the circumstances are completely different. And the faqih is the one who's supposed to look at it. For example, all the fuqaha, they agree with this. Any fatwa regarding zawaj and talaq, especially talaq, cannot be given over the phone. If a person is giving a fatwa over the phone, I will say that person, I don't know what he's doing to himself. And a person cannot give a fatwa regarding the talaq. It has to be, you have to bring the person and talk to the person, the man and the woman, and to see the circumstances. Because it's based on a life of a human being, which is will be some other people involved. There will be two families, the community, the society, the children, and so on and so on. Sometimes you just say, yeah, go ahead. She's divorced, he's divorced, he's divorced, he's divorced. You got really to take care of that. And one more thing also, the fiqh or the fatwa also have, it's different from a city to another city. The people who live right now, let's say in Karachi, they cannot have the same mufti that the people that they live in Oklahoma. I say, but it's the same deen. I would say the circumstances are not the same, the problems are not the same, the culture is not the same, the customs are not the same. Something that it could be completely aib in Karachi probably is not aib in Oklahoma, or the opposite also. And the faqih has to take that in consideration. He cannot just give the fatwa. Let me go back. Probably I will just let you know that I will be away for 3 weeks, inshallah. I'm going to visit my parents. So the next 3 weeks I will not be able to have this class, but I will promise that we will continue it, inshallah. But I will just have a small introduction regarding Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. What I wanted to say about Imam Shafi'i is this point. How Imam Shafi'i is a student, let's say, of Imam Abu Hanifa, which is he's a student of the student of Abu Hanifa, and he is a student of Imam Malik, but he's not a Hanafi and he's not a Shafi'i. He's not a Hanafi and he's not a Maliki. And he loved Malik in a way that you cannot even imagine. He said, I never saw someone who has more knowledge than Imam Malik. And at the same time, he said about Imam Abu Hanifa, saying, ذَلِكَ أَفْقَهُ أَهْلِ الْأَرْضِ. He is the faqih of the whole world. Both of them. But Imam Shafi'i, he would have his own madhab. He would have some differences with his own two teachers, but he respected them the most. This is really something very amazing. You know why? Well, I guess, just give a, yes.
You pick up the good from both of them.
You pick up the good, or something else. What do you think? How you could have something different than Imam Abu Hanifa and Malik, these two big giants? And remember, yes.
Maybe he was in different places, in different people.
He was in different place. He lived in different place also. That could be also another reason. Remember, Imam Shafi'i, he will come in a little bit later on than Imam Malik and Imam Abu Hanifa. So he may benefit from something that Imam Malik and Abu Hanifa did not. The haraka. Imam Abu Hanifa already started the fiqh. Imam Malik already wrote his book al-Muwatta. Imam Malik and Abu Hanifa did not have anyone before them to establish fiqh or to have a book. Now, Imam Shafi'i will have that. So that's another thing. One thing also very important. It's not because of my teacher I have to follow him 100%. I may love him, I may respect him. And we realize that about Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Remember we were talking in the beginning about his teacher, Hamad ibn Sulaiman. So when he left him and he went and came back, they had the differences like 40 masails in just a month. But still they love each other and he was still the student of that. So Imam Shafi'i with the same concept that yes, that's my teacher, I respect him, I love him, but I may have a difference with him. Why? We can get it from another one, which is Imam Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah and his teacher Ibn Taymiyyah. Imam al-Qayyim used to love Ibn Taymiyyah like nothing, like you cannot even imagine. Like for him, everything is that Imam. But when it comes to the Masail of the Deen, he usually goes with opinion of Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, who defended so hard. But when he realized that his teacher is not on the haqq, or he has a different opinion, he said something very amazing, very beautiful. Probably we should take it, all of us. It's just a small advice from myself and to everybody. He said, إن الشيخ حبيب إلينا ولكن الحق أحب. He said, the Shaykh, his teacher, حبيب إلينا. We love him so much. He's my Habib, which is I love the most. But he said, ولكن الحق أحب. But the haqq is more loved to me than my Shaykh. So when there is a statement regarding anything, regarding any issue, right? That person may love him so much. But if he is not on the haqq, you got to differ with him. You keep your law, you keep your respect, but you still have to differ with that person. And that's what happened to Imam Shafi'i with all his teachers. Sometimes he may get something that they did not. I would just say again, over and over, and saying, the one thing about Imam Shafi'i that he benefited more than Imam Abu Hanifa and more than Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he was a pure Arab. A pure Arab. You may say, so what? What's the difference in that? Okay. The difference in that he was born in Palestine. He was born in Palestine. And then he was taken to Mecca, subhanAllah, when he was, I think, only 2 years. Only 2 years he went to Mecca. So he was raised in Mecca. So that's something very special. So he's a Qurayshi also, if you want to go to his lineage. And he got the chance to go and learn the pure of the Arabic language. So he was more eloquent in Arabic than Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik. He had a better understanding for the Arabic language and the differences in the lughat of the dialect of Arabic language than Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik. He had a better understanding in the poetry of the Arab than Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik. And these are going to develop his manhaj also and will have an effect on his manhaj also. You may realize that he's the only one among all the four A'imma that he was a poet. And he has his diwan. And he has his diwan also. Which is, you read it, it's very beautiful. Like one of them is very famous, say, شكيت إلى وكيع سوء حفظي فدلني إلى ترك المعاصي. So he said, I complained to a certain person about I don't memorize very well. So he told me, stay away from the ma'asi. Anyway, let me go back about Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. Probably I was just stuck over here. What I would like to say about Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, still his madhab is not going to be that famous in the Muslims' world, comparing, especially in our time, comparing to Imam Abu Hanifa and comparing to Imam Malik rahimahullah. And there are some political issues for this reason. In the time of Imam Malik rahimahullah, in the time of Imam Malik, and especially let's say in the Maliki madhab, it's a little bit very famous, or it was very famous in Andalus, in the whole Andalus for 600 years, and in the whole north of Africa, which is Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and then also in Saudi Arabia. And that's because also of the power of the government. When a Khalifa, he adopted a madhab, the whole Amma will go for it. The same happened with Imam Abu Hanifa, although he has that problem with the Mansur, but once he passed away, Abu Hassan, his student Abu Yusuf became the Qadi al-Qudat. So he had the one who has the power to appoint the Qudat anywhere. So mostly he was appointed also the Fuqaha of Hanafiya. And that's what's going to happen. And that's what we're going to see the map of the world. The Muslims will say the Ahnaf are completely dominant in the subcontinent, almost. And that's the area where, if you look at the Arabs world, you are going to find it's a mixture. In Saudi Arabia, it's a mixture between the Malikis and the Hanabila. If you go to Egypt, it's a huge big mixture between the Ahnaf, of course, and between the Malikiyya and between the Shafi'iyya. Not that much Hanabila, subhanAllah. I said if you go to North Africa, it's only pure Malikis, subhanAllah, and so on and so on. I will stop over here. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you have any comments, I'll be very happy, and give me your dua, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.